We officially have chains on the car for the very first time.
Can you guess where we are going where we need chains?
Look at that. It's about 3,000 feet. We were stopped by Caltrans. The dude was like, that's not an all-wheel drive, is it?
Nope.
We're like, no, we have chains though. It's like, okay, I'm gonna let you back up because you have to put them on. I'm like, fine. So, car is bumpy and loud, and it's really slow. So, I guess it was a good thing that we left early because it's gonna take us an extra hour to get up the mountain.
It's 7:30 right now. Normally, if we had left when we left, we would be
There
pretty close to there, maybe like 10-15 minutes away. But alas, it has been snowing a lot this last week, so they're being very cautious about letting people on the roads without chains.
The storm came in this weekend. It's actually pretty bad, so they're being cautious. When the weather is this good in California and the season has been crap, you don't sit this at home.
Yeah.
You do not. Get some chains for your two-wheel drive car and deal with the noise, and you can get up there.
Well, that was a good day. That was a really good day.
It was a really good day.
Probably about close to 2 feet of fresh powder. I'm going through the powder and it's up to like here. Pretty epic out there.
Yes.
I'm a little disappointed because I know tomorrow it's not gonna be quite as good.
Because they're gonna groom it all. Boy.
Great day. We're gonna go take a shower.
Find some drinks, some dinner.
Maybe do some ice skating. No.
Maybe, yeah. Sorry, what?
A girl and her phone.
You know that the love for the sport is serious when you're considering dropping $700 for boots and bindings in one shot.
But the good thing is that they're probably gonna last a very long time. We went into the Burton store and I was looking for boots. I was just looking for some standard double boa boots.
Hey, puppy. Puppy. Anyway.
So we go into Burton and they have the new step-on bindings and boots for demo. And
So we
both
saw-
of us are like, oh, we have to do that.
Because we saw that Burton had came up with the new technology for step-in bindings.
That's new this season.
New this season. And we're like, ooh, we really want to try it.
Yeah.
So, found out that Burton's demoing them for $40 a day. We're doing them tomorrow.
We're doing them tomorrow. And right now we're meeting one of her coworkers here
For drinks.
at Tavern. And by meet, really did just mean meat.
I am turning into the most serious snowboarder. Because of you.
So,
This is the most expensive hobby that we have.
yes, it is really expensive, but it's, as long as you get good gear, it will last a long time and you
Yes.
don't have to re-buy it every
I
year.
agreed.
We've been trying to tell this story all day, but the microphone on my GoPro has been on the fritz. 1 year ago, after we had been dating for 6 months,
6 months.
I wanted to go snowboarding. I was like, hey, you want to go with me? And she was like, yeah, sure, whatever. Like, my company does an annual all-company trip to Tahoe. So, yeah, I mean, I'll go and learn before then. So we went up to Heavenly, and she loved it. She took a lesson, did great.
Took 2 more lessons after that.
We went probably 5 more times that season. If there's a season to learn, that's the season to learn. It was
last year was the best California season in 6 years, 5 years.
at least, yeah.
Yeah.
It was crazy. She got the bug.
I did.
She got the bug hard.
Bug.
Like after the maybe first or second time you started buying up gear.
Yeah. Last season when we were learning, he took me to Park City.
I was fortunate enough to, as a child, have a mother who has a timeshare in Park City. I've been skiing and snowboarding in Park City for a week a year during spring break since I was probably 5. Skiing until I was like 15, and then 15 until now, which has been 17 years. I'm very adept at mountain sports. No one that I know is good enough to come with me that we can just like go. And so I've always, for the last like few years, I've always been like finding people but then having to train them. It's not fun. It doesn't.
Yeah. Anyway, so last season was the first season I've ever snowboarded like back to back. So learned in Tahoe and then started buying my own jacket, bought pants. This is only my 2nd season snowboarding and I love it. Now I want to go every weekend if I see that it's snowing or if it's raining. We hop on a ski bus and go, and here we are.
So that brings us to
why we're actually here. So my company does an annual ski trip and it was supposed to be this weekend, but the storm hit on Thursday and it was unsafe to transport us to the mountains on Thursday because
it dumped about 5 feet of snow.
Yeah, so they decided to cancel and reschedule for a later date. But while we were already planning said trip as a company, I already had paid an extra night to stay and extend our stay, and he would come up and meet me and be bored for the rest of the weekend.
We decided just to
come up anyway.
Oh my god, that smells so good. Crepes.
And now we get to demo Burton step-in boots and binding.
Dinner was interesting, to say the least. So we had
wanted to go to this Mediterranean tapas bar, wine bar, for dinner. But when we walked in, the lady was salty ass face. Was like, we have no room right now. Come back in 45 minutes.
You make it sound like she was Russian. She was American.
Whatever. She was salty as fuck. Anyway, we didn't want to come back in 45 minutes.
They didn't, not like, oh, here, let me put your name down or something like that. It was just like, come back in 45 minutes. We're like, what? We were like, no, we're not coming back. We're not going to come back in 45 minutes and have you tell us again that to come back in 45 minutes. Yeah.
Right.
So we went to the sushi place, and oh my god, that was an event.
Yeah, so this looks like this bar was where the locals hung out.
Like
the locals or the regulars.
All the people who work in the shops and other restaurants and such in the village here, it seems like that's
where they hang out. So the funny thing was, the guy who helped us book our Burton rentals for the demo tomorrow, he's like, I gotta go, they'll help you out. We're like, okay, cool, thank you so much. We walk into the sushi restaurant and he's like, hey. He was
like, oh, hey,
I was like, oh, another shift? He's like, yeah, I wasn't even supposed to be really there.
Yeah.
So I was like, oh, tight. We also got a free roll of sushi because it was given to us mistakenly and we ate it anyway. They had like...
Do you have to pee?
No, I was taking my shoes off.
Oh, I'm like, what are you doing? You're shorter now.
I know. They had their computer systems like completely shut down, and then this girl Annie was a rock star at the bar. We were there for like an hour and we were
there for like 2 hours.
Whatever, but like we already vibed with the people who were behind the bar. Like it was pretty cool. It was a really good dinner. We were an outsider looking in, but we became part of the inner circle.
Yeah, pretty quickly.
So it was really cool. I like that when that happens, when you make friends with people who are, you know, serving you but not serving you.
It becomes more of like
a hangout than just going to dinner. That was dinner.
And unfortunately, because it had snowed, the skating rink was all covered in snow, so we couldn't skate. But we did get some awesome footage of the
John Deere tractor trailer doing donuts in the skating rink.
Yeah.
And he was like lifting doing donuts in the skating rink. It was so tight. The coolest thing I've ever seen today. Drifting on snow.
Fun. Yeah.
Pretty awesome. So tomorrow
are step-ons.
Get to demo the Burton step-on boots and binding combo.
Expect a comprehensive review of that.
And we're so juiced.
Yeah.
I'm so excited. I really don't want to fall in love with them. but I know I probably will.
To. That's all for today.
You'll see us again in the morning with some Burton boots and
back
binding.
On the slopes.
I'm excited. I'm really happy we went up.
Yeah. Yeah. All right.
Okay, good night. Until tomorrow.
It's us against the world. Good night.
Good night.